Hey YouTube family, how are you? Luis El Miluso is coming to you once again. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all your subscriptions and your questions that have been coming through. I've been really busy lately, so I haven't really posted a lot, but I am doing a job real quick this morning. Again, I haven't had a lot of time, but this is a simple job, and it's something that I just wanted to do real quick in between some events that I have. And so I heard a little bit of like rattle when I was driving, and I wanted to check that. And then also I know that the tie rod ends came due. When I did the control arms on this 2006 Honda Odyssey that I purchased, I did control arms, I did CV axles, I did the hub bearings. I did do the hub bearings. I did the transmission intercooler, the power steering intercooler. But on that day, I was all by myself. I didn't have any cameraman. I don't have a cameraman today, but this is a lot simpler, and I can use one hand versus both hands. And so I missed out on recording all those jobs, but I wanted to bring this to you real quick. So this is tie rod end. I was gonna do inner and outer, but my inner tie rod ends are solid. They don't have any play, so I'm gonna skip that for now to save some time and get into a quick explanation on the tie rod ends. So if you guys need to do them, it's real simple. Here we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and shift over this way. So as you can see, I took off the tire. I went ahead and took off the bolt for ease. Down here there's a bolt for ease of the video. Some of them are 18, some of them are 19, or in 19 is equal to 3/4, and some, so you could use either one. So on this case, it was I'm using 3/4, and it worked perfectly. And here's the tie rod end. As you can see, there's grease coming out already on this one, which when I did the control arms, there was no grease, so I figured I can get away with a few more miles. And it's been about 15, maybe 18,000 miles, so I did pretty good. Okay, so explanation here. So there's a nipple or a tip right here, and a lot of you guys want to put the nut here and then hit it from the bottom. I used to the way back in the day, but not anymore. Now what I do is I use the tip here. So in Spanish, somebody told me these were ciclónicas, which if I translate that, cyclonic fittings. So I suppose you can look that up and find out the explanation for that. But anyways, there's a tip here, or a little nipple. What I do is I take a mallet, or a little heavier than just a hammer. I use this little mallet, and what I do is I come in here and then I hit this tip here. And when I hit that many times, in a few bangs like that, it's real easy and it pops right out. In some cases it gets a little harder, so you may have to turn the wheel and then get a little more leverage, or more swing, so you can hit it a little harder. But that's it, that's all it is. I've already loosened this one back here. I use my crescent wrench. In this case, I put it to a pipe, and it makes it a lot easier for me, so I just went ahead and loosen that. Now the thing here, if you were changing the inner and outer tie rod ends, I'd be showing you in here how to take this cover off and how to go inside, but in this case I'll show you why I'm not changing it. And then when I loosen this nut off, you'd have to measure and make sure you know exactly what the distance is, so that when you put in your new inner tie rod end and your new outer tie rod end, that you could go ahead and leave it kind of where it was, so that the alignment is pretty close. I mean, you're still gonna need to be aligned, but you'll leave it pretty close to where it was. In this case, I loosen this one, and as long as it's loose, I have my fitting there, or I have my size. Now what I do is I take this off, and then I could just go ahead and turn this one and remove it. Now I'm going to swap out, because the new tie rod end has a new nut, and it also has a new little cotter pin, so I'll use those. So if you go here and you take this off, you'll see where the threads, because it was dirty, you'll see where the threads were, where the nut was set up. See right there. So as I move it, I'm not really worried about where it's supposed to go for alignment. I'm just gonna get rid of this particular old one, because this one's been loosened and tightened a few times. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up the package. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've opened the package, and here's my outer tie rod end, and it comes with the, now mine is a Touring, so it has this style. If you don't have a Touring, or I believe EXL, then you're not looking for this style. They're much shorter and they're skinny. and they don't have this thing right here, this like bubble. They're very different. So this one called for the Touring edition. That one comes with the new nut that we're going to use to tighten, the cotter pin, and of course the actual nut for the screw part right here for the tie rod end. Also the kit, I ordered these from Amazon. This is the inner tie rod end. This is the part that would go inside. So it's got the thread, and then that goes in and screws in and inside, and then you have that part fitting right there with the cover on top. Now this one I'm not going to be using, so I'll show you why. When I come in here, if I go and try to move it, it's got a little play, but it doesn't have any play in and out. So there's no bouncing. It's just, you know, and I can't really turn it. So it's perfect. It's tightened the way it needs to be tightened. I've got no play there, so I like that. That's pretty good. So I'm comfortable with that. And I can get away with it for a while. I'm planning to go out into Mexico to my brother-in-law's shop, and we're gonna be doing timing belt kit and the tensioner, and we're gonna do water pump and just different other maintenance items that this may need. I'm right about 96,000 miles I think on this already, and I got it with 77,000 miles back August of 21. So right now I've driven it quite a bit. All right, let's see. So now I lined up the nut. This one screws back in as far as I can go, leaving this part straight. So then I know this last turn is where it was, right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this, get all this grease out of here, leave it nice and clean. Perfect. So now we're gonna go ahead and just slide that in. This one can't even move the screw portion because it's nice and new, so they're tough. There it goes. All right. Sorry guys, I don't have my cameraman today. And that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this one. So see, that's it. That's really what it did. And in here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take this nut and then just tighten it up and torque it. In my case, what I'm gonna do, since I do have my my gun or my okay, since I do have my tool, okay, battery tool. It's not real strong, but it's strong enough to be able to get this job done. Okay, so I'll go in here. I got the nut started. Oh, wait a minute, this one's shorter. I'll be right back. Let me get the right socket. I think this is 18. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and work with this 18 on my impact driver, and we're gonna go ahead and set it up and tighten it up. Okay, and there it is. I'm gonna go ahead and use my breaker bar and adjust it, give it a little bit of torque, and then just adjust where the hole to the cotter pin is gonna fit in, and that'll be done. I'll just open it, butterfly it out, and tighten that one in the back, and then put my wheel back on, and I'm done. So I know that this is not the same quality that you guys have been receiving, so obviously I have a cameraman usually. In this case, I know someone had commented somewhere in one of the forums how to change the tie rod ends. They were having issues, so I figured, hey, I'm about to do that, I might as well record it. So I appreciate you guys watching. If I can get to this, once I get into the shop out in Mexico, I'll try to make some videos you know, about everything that we're doing properly with the camera. I'll have someone else there too at the shop, and we'll be able to kind of really get into this and maybe re-record this or record just a cleaner version of different videos. Okay, so I appreciate that. Thanks for watching once again. God bless. Luis El Milusos. Shoot your questions. If I can answer them, I'll be more than happy to answer. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.